Man, that's some bullshit. Dude, quit being a douchebag. Ah, there we go. Hey, Chico. What's up, buddy? Now I forgot what I was going to talk about again. What was I going to say? Oh, being, what is it? Not getting stuck in the story is harder, easier said than done. One of those things. That's easier said than done. So, like this guy, I should be able to group them more. Thing is he's done like 4 times. He'll get the dog by the back of the head and just shove it in the fucking ground. I can't make him stop. I don't know how to, and I don't want to put the other dogs in that situation, right? Now he's super good with Willie, Crew, and Raider. So what I do is we let Raider and Willie in the kitchen. This is still through the X pen or whatever. Well, I always think there's a gray thing right there, and it's an electrical thing. I always think it's a person standing there. But I tell people all the time, you got to get out of the story. But that's more of an emotional, right? So like, as in, I could feel sorry for this guy, and sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm like, man, shit, I should do better for him. But I still do what I got to do with him, right? I have to get him out. I exercise him, give him some work. I guess being here is slightly better than in a shelter or a rescue center. But the emotional story, right? So the emotional story would be, oh my God, he's 10 years old and he's been locked up and someone gave up on him. All that shit. The emotional story, that's super easy for me to get over. And the weird thing is I can't get over the kind of physical story of it, right? So like, as in him going after other dogs. But it's happened 4 times with me. So then in my mind, now it's kind of becoming a practiced behavior, right? So therefore I get into environmental management, which is a sucky answer, because it's not really an answer, right? But I don't have the space, the amount of hands that it takes to do. And sometimes I can tell, sometimes it's like, oh man, he must have played so bad, right? And it varies, right? So when we see dogs out, sometimes he has this whine that's just excited, and then sometimes he has this. And so we've finally gotten pretty good where I can just do like little kisses and he turns away. I'll go. But it started off, I had to do a bunch of poking the butts. It took a long time because it varies. It's not, I can't set it up to really work it. So it's very much like people at home, right? People at home don't encounter dogs enough to really work on any kind of reactivity thing. Where was I going? Oh yeah, the story. The emotional story, that's easy for me to get over, because that if you hold on to the emotional story of it, then you're not doing any good, right? Holding on to the physical story, like of what's going on with this guy, is I'm not putting him in a position. There's times where I can tell he's kind of bummed out, right? And that sucks. But I get over it, right? Like, oh, I don't get to play with dogs. Oh well, I'm gonna go chew my bone, right? I don't know where I was going. The story. But a lot of times people get stuck in the emotional story of it, and then from there becomes it creates behavior problems, right? So this guy has behavioral problems just because he's a weirdo. And he doesn't. That's really the only thing. His reactivity and and the jumping on others. That's one I don't know how. Probably because my punishment or correction for the behavior is way too soft, so it's not going to stop it. But then I've talked to people like the only thing like friends of mine would do would be he would have to be on an e-collar, right? And you would just fucking, when he's fixing to do that, you just jam him. Because we've done, I mean, God knows how many redirect to hot dogs and shit don't work. There's a point where the behavior is just so ingrained that fucking hot dogs ain't gonna fix it. I mean, maybe in somebody else's hands, but I doubt it. Not from what I've heard. I've seen no evidence. Easy, fool. Make me go skiing on this thing. I don't know. Anyways, get out of the story, right? The emotional story doesn't help the dog or you. Out of here. Look, I had 2 minutes of bumbling for words, so this would have been a nice 4-minute video if my brain worked straight.